professionals do it.
Professional.
All right, and now we're going to crank up the Ustream recording. Now. And I think we're good to go.
All right, ready? Welcome to EdTech Weekly, episode 81. Today is June 15th, 2008, and EdTech Weekly is a weekly roundup of news and resources in the world of educational technology. We're broadcasting on the EdTech Talk channel of the World Bridges Network, and this is John Schinker in Stowe, Ohio.
This is Dave Cormier in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island.
This is Jennifer Madrill in Hoboken, New Jersey.
And this is Jeff Lebo in Bow, New Hampshire. We're doing OoVoo. We got Small Worlds ahead. Another exciting week of EdTech news and resources. Where to begin, Dave?
Well, happy Father's Day is the first thing I want to send out to everybody. I enjoyed mine today. I hope everybody else did. But I think we're just as well to start with Small Worlds today. We came across this link, or at least I came across this link about 40 minutes before the show started. Logged in, we got a chance to move around a little bit. It's a 3D online virtual world, much like something of the Second Life ilk. But completely inside your browser, so no download. It's Flash-based, and gives you a chance to make your own character. You can do some interesting things with it, and get in there, and it seems to be... Yes, Jeff?
What interesting things can you do with it? So far I'm just walking around my room lost.
You can challenge people to a duel.
You can challenge people to a duel as long as you can find people who are willing to actually take that
Hey,
duel.
I'm
tried
ready.
to do that
I
before,
am
Jeff
ready.
chickened out.
I just don't have any
Listen,
credits.
man, I was there. I asked you. You chickened out. There's nothing I can do about it.
Where'd you go? I
It's,
know you ran away.
It's quest-based, so there's a bunch of quests built into the system, and you can do them one after the other. I did the first 4 or 5. Got just slightly tedious, but it was meant to sort of get me to the point of getting ready to do other stuff. I'm guessing there are a variety of other quests that actually follow along later. More importantly, it is the first of the sort of slick in-browser virtual worlds that's come out. I mean, certainly we knew these were coming. And overall, the interface is pretty good. It's just a touch slow, but they're still in beta, so I'm sure they'll get somewhere cool soon. So that's Small Worlds. Do check it out. It's kind of cool.
Okay. Oh, let's pause a moment. Jeff's having audio issues. No?
Well, I did hear a bit of an echo, but now it seems gone. Well, I don't know. I'm keeping my ear on you, John.
All right, I'm not saying anything, though.
Yeah, I know, but your echo is. I don't know what to do. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to continue my quest to find the perfect alternative to Adobe Acrobat. As everyone is probably aware, Acrobat is the more advanced version of, instead of Adobe Reader, which just allows you to read PDFs, Acrobat allows you to annotate and highlight and all those other wonderful things. And I'm hearing a tremendous amount of echo right now.
Roger that. Don't know where that was coming from.
Can I
But it's
start
gone.
again? Let me start.
No, that's all right. We will share this spontaneous audio challenge with our recorded listening audience.
All right. So, and in my quest, I Googled, of course, everyone, well, at least I do, Google when I can't find something, and I came across the link that I just put in the chat room. The folks at GNU are in the midst of putting together an open source version of Acrobat. Unfortunately, it looks like the project is really in its infancy, and I wouldn't hold my breath for it. But in the meantime, just keep your eye out on for that. I think it's going to be called Juggler, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, GNU Juggler will be eventually the replacement, or the open source version, rather, of Adobe Acrobat. But in the meantime, I thought this one was kind of cool. It's a browser-based way to annotate PDFs and other documents as well. You can highlight them, you can share them with your best buddies, who can also highlight and annotate, and I thought it was pretty slick. I tried it a couple times this week. The only thing that's a little bit annoying when you download the document after you've annotated it, at least for me anyway, maybe I haven't found the right button, I lost all my annotations on the downloaded version, and maybe that's a feature that others would enjoy, but personally I wanted to be able to take the annotations with me. But anyway, that's at annotate.com, and it's one of those annoying URLs where it's a.nnotate.com.
All right. I am going to try to segue to something related, breadcrumbs.com. iBreadcrumbs.com, which is another social networking for researchers to share recorded URLs, track websites, review notes online, and encourage online collaborative research.
That's amazing.
Well, yeah. Any special reason you think so, Dave?
Well, it just sounds like exactly everything else that everybody's been putting out for the last.
Yeah, I mean, it's got,
2 years.
highlighting features and annotation and all that stuff. But since I'm working so hard here to provide some visual excitement for our viewers, I'm going to toss in some visual excitement with Wordle.com, which, really it's just pretty tag clouds. But here are some pretty tag clouds from the EdTech Talk Delicious. And you can do this with any RSS feed. And you just put it in, and it will create a pretty image. But it really is just a pretty tag cloud. But we're thinking maybe this would work for the T-shirt, for the EdTech Talk T-shirt.
Ah.
I think it would look great for the T-shirt. The other one, not the one you're showing right now. I think is really cool.
All right, we'll show the other one as well.
But nice sites. I'm going to continue while Jeff is showing that site because this one isn't particularly visually appealing. A post by or an article by David Pogue from a few weeks ago about an item that provides internet access. It's a wireless modem, works with cell providers, and it's essentially a USB dongle that also doubles as a Wi-Fi modem. So, or not a Wi-Fi modem, but a cellular modem. So you can get DSL speeds on any device with this thing at $60 a month for unlimited access. So you could take this and use it for home internet access, and then when you're on the road, you can just take it with you and use it wherever you are. Just plugs into your computer. The software's preloaded. You can use it anywhere, and $60 a month. So definitely worth a look if you need an alternative to the broadband that you have available in your area, or if you need something that is more mobile. It's internet on the go. Device.
My next link also does not provide the visual beauty that it might, but it does provide some entertainment value. This is from Ars Technica, which is a fantastic website from which we've gotten a lot of great links. And it is about some copyright issues that have come up to our friends across the pond. It seems that this week the UK police were nicked by copyright cops for playing their radio too loud. The Performing Rights Society, the people in charge of copyright there, have said that playing music that is audible to other constituents constitutes a public performance, meaning that it can't be done without a license. So that means that if the police are driving down the road or sitting on the side of the road with the music on too loud, or at a bingo or at a function, and they've not actually paid for the rights to play that music to a public group, they are apt to get confronted by the copyright police. And I think my favorite comment about this, it actually comes from John after he sent it to me, or actually from Deb, from the crazy person in the chat room. When we start enforcing ridiculous laws, they'll change. And I think that this is certainly an example of that. We've been worried about copyright for the last couple of weeks. A lot of weird stuff's been coming up. But this is just so far beyond the pale that you're stuck laughing. Stopping asking police people to turn down their radios in their car because they're actually having a public performance on the side of the road. I mean, wow. And it also, you take that the next step. What are we going to do in schools? What are we going to do anywhere else where we're actually playing this stuff? It's, I don't know what to do, but it's certainly interesting.
I'm always amazed at how this whole thing turned around. In being near Cleveland, we had the whole problem with Alan Freed and with Payola, and that DJs were getting paid to play records because it would promote the records, and people would buy them. And now that whole thing has turned around where a radio station has to pay to song, and then somebody has to pay to play the radio station if anybody's going to hear it. And it's just everything has gotten so backwards and so out of hand that this is just crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It is crazy. All right, I'm moving on now. Okay. All right. My next link, the contributed link. Thank you very much. I can't recall off the top of my head who submitted it, but it's a roundup of 100 cool websites that is dedicated to learning. And I think we've talked about probably at least a third of the links that are in here, but there's some really nice ones. And actually, the ones that they list tend to be the ones that we also talk about a lot as our favorite tools. So if you want to head on over to collegeathome.com, and the link is in the chat room. And as I said, great links for mind mapping, charting, diagramming, videos, and photos, and all sorts of good things. So I think you could spend quite a lot of time going through and pulling out some good tools for teaching.
All right. My next link is from EdTech Hacks, and I'm gonna find it. But while I'm finding it, I'm gonna tell you where I got it. EdTech Hacks is back in action. This is Brittany Rockwell's site, and it reminds me of the early days when I used to go to designtoinspire.com to gather links for EdTech Weekly.
Wow.
And she actually just posted, she's been kind of busy with her studies for a couple of months, so she hasn't been posting much, but she has a graduate school dilemma that I just linked to there, which she's not really satisfied with her course there in Missouri and is looking for some online alternatives. So I thought of you, Jen. I bet you could offer her some insights, being the expert mobile distance learner that you are. Anyway, speaking of mobile, one of the things she posted is she's surfing online more and more these days and is getting increasingly annoyed when she finds sites that don't have mobile editions. And so this site allows that to happen. It's mofuse.mobi. And so I created an edtechtalk.mofuse.mobi, which would allow people to access all the excitement of EdTech Talk on their mobile tools. And they even have like an iPhone preview that you can click on and see what it will look like on your iPhone. Looks a lot like an RSS feed.
All right. Question for the people on the call. Did you dissect animals in biology class?
Frog.
Several.
Yes, I did.
Frogs.
And
several,
pig.
Yeah.
Fetal pigs.
And pig. Fetal pigs. And did that cause you to not have respect for animals? That's what this animal rights activist organization is claiming, and saying that we should be only doing digital dissections of animals because, to quote, the dissecting of animals desensitizes kids. It tells them that we do not have any respect for any animal. So they're apparently serious about saying, you know what, we shouldn't be taking animals apart in biology because that's twisting our young children's impressionable minds, and they're advocating the use of virtual dissection tools. And I think it's interesting that they take that take on using technology for those. I mean, we use virtual dissection tools all the time, especially in middle school. You know, we use things like frog guts to take frogs apart, and you know, the point there is that they can repeat sections of the dissection, and they can do it in you know, with many more kids and many more times than they could with real animals. But I just thought it was odd, having done frogs and pigs, and you know, getting that sort of tactile approach without getting too gruesome here. That I think there's a lot to be said about actually looking at real animals, and it just kind of saddens me to think that we're taking an entirely digital approach. But
I'm
interesting.
take a shot in the dark here, John, and assume that you don't agree with them.
That I don't agree with virtual dissections. I love virtual dissections.
No,
I don't think
with the idea of getting rid of the ones in the
should. Yeah, I'm not real fond of the idea.
There's 2 points there, though. I mean, the first one is, does it desensitize them? And I think absolutely yes. Is that a bad thing is a separate question. Are we arguing about the first one? I mean, to me, when you take an animal apart and look through its guts, you're automatically desensitizing yourself.
But to say that you don't care about any animals because
no, there's two conversations now. The first one's the desensitization, and if that happens, what effect that may or may not have?
I could
that's
argue on the
absolutely
desensitization point, but I'm going to let it go for now. I mean, I think it could also be argued that it well, okay, I guess I'm not letting it go, but I'm going to let it go. Please continue.
That's all. I'm done.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, Dave, I thought you were saying the first issue was this, the second issue is what's the second issue?
Whether or not that's a bad thing. I think that when it comes down to the industry that has to be put together in order to pull out those fetal pigs for however many, 50,000 a year, John, you figure, across the United States?
Quite a few, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about whatever industry is out there powering that. So there may be a very good reason for not doing it. I just don't know enough about the industry. I don't think that it's that kids aren't going to care about animals. There may be other reasons for not doing it. I think overall, the time and era of having to do that inside of a high school classroom may be past. I would far rather, and I mean, I grew up I had a gun in my hand by the time I was 9. I'm a hillbilly. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I think I'd rather see them working with live animals, doing live things rather than cutting up dead animals, because, again, in an individual situation, I think it's okay. I think you've got to build an awfully big industry behind that to bring out fetal pigs that I can't really figure how you would do that in a sustainable way that I would probably like. So, I don't know.
Anybody else find the image of Dave with a gun scary?
Haven't done that in a long time.
I'm anti-unnecessary dissection. I really do think that if it can be avoided, avoid it. And, in med school, all right. But I think the vast majority of 8th graders, it's not going to really have a significant effect on their knowledge of biology or anything else. And if you can avoid that, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think there's an interesting point in the chat room there. If you're going to the place where the animals are being opened up anyway, that's one thing. So trip to the farm is actually, at this point, at this day and age, realistically, trip to the farm is going to stretch most kids' minds way further than they're willing to accept anyway. The distance between our farms and our real life. I mean, you really want to shock them? Bring them to the abattoir. I mean, and that's happening every day, and that actually is real life. That is shocking enough. But on that happy note, yes, Jeff.
What's an abattoir?
An abattoir? Where they kill the animals that we eat?
What a pleasant word
where the blood
for
and
a
the guts
nasty
are.
thing.
It is a pleasant word. I had not heard the word.
Let's go to the abattoir.
Okay.
Anyway.
Slaughterhouse is another way of saying it.
Yeah.
So to take an unbelievable left-hand turn from here and get away from the death and the dying and the blood, I had the opportunity to do some presentations this week at the University of Prince Edward Island, and one of the things I did was collected some links from some buddies of mine. One of them was from Alec Kouros. I think we've done this one before, but having actually torn through it with the people in my presentation, this is from his course, and there's two things about the link that I just dropped in the chat room. One, it's a wiki that was collaboratively done by the students in Alec's course this spring that we've talked about in a bunch of different contexts. It's excellent. It's very, very well done, and I'm going to use it in my course in the next couple of weeks, simply because the content's really good and it's written by the people that I am aiming to go after. Secondly, if I understand Alec's rubric correctly, this was a group grade. So the students were all responsible for working on this, and one single grade was given to all the students. And I think this is a really nice example of how that can work out whenever you've got an entire group who's responsible for one piece of work. And it gives a really nice example of what community and collaborative work can do and what kind of a success it can be. So t4tl.wikispaces.com. Do check it out and do use it. I think it's excellent.
Okay, I just wanted to mention the link I mentioned before that was contributed to College at Home is from Jay Hancock. I always like to give the plug there. Thank you for that. And then the link that I'm putting in the chat room right now is actually from Matt, I believe. Matt is a cheesehead, and this is a link about cheeseheads, and it's being talked about right now from a former cheesehead. But anyway, the link in the chat room is called Taft in the South at .blogs.com. And Mr. Taft is an 8th grade teacher, and it appears he got a grant to spend a week in the South, traveling through in the South United States through very historic areas. And the idea was that he was going to blog his experience and be able to bring this home to his kids for next year and build up his curriculum in the fall. And he did just a great job. He just used all kinds of free tools. He used Flickr and just everything that we talk about here all the time, and put together a really nice recap of his trip, and he made the posts every day. He used, I think he used, Gcast to do his podcasts every day from his phone, and then he also used Blogspot to capture in writing, and then also pull back the pictures that he took. So it's a great little, I think, 10-day trip he took, and again, it's at taftinthesouth.blogspot.com.
Very nice. Hey, there's a lot going on my screen right now. Finding links is the least of my worries. But I'm going to toss a couple in, starting with OpenOffice Tutorials, which is a nice collection of video and text tutorials and other resource information about our favorite alternative to OpenOffice. Thank you.
Microsoft Office?
Yes, Microsoft Office. I was getting all sorts of audio interference there. Yeah, going real smooth here, Jeff. Keep going. Printable paper. Do you ever think to yourself, gee, I wish I had someplace I could find graph paper and print that out? Well, this has all different kinds of paper that you might ever need. Your first grade, handwriting practice, or whatever else.
You can print your own paper, huh?
You can print your own paper.
Oh, the music paper stuff. That stuff's hard to find when you need it.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool. All right. Just a quick resource here, teacherled.com. We're putting in a bunch of smart boards this summer in our school district, and I'm always on the lookout for new resources and additional help for all of these teachers who are ending up with these boards that aren't sure what to do with them. But teacher-led has interactive whiteboard resource, and these are mostly math types of things for algebra, for like pentominoes, a lot of geometry stuff. They're starting to also include some spelling resources as well. Just some neat stuff that you can download and use on your interactive whiteboards, and that is teacherled.com.
My next link, and actually I said I'd done the presentation, there's a bunch of different things that went through. Probably the most interesting of the resources that I got from my buddies is this one from somebody you may recognize.
Oh, no.
This is the OoVoo recording from Jeff's work with the students on the outskirts of Hanoi. And actually, I think in terms of online learning right now, sort of being out there on the cutting edge, and certainly we don't say this enough, but Jeff does some extraordinary work. And this particular link gives a real sense, I think, of probably the worst challenge you can possibly have. He had a bunch of students who are, one of the first ones who starts talking, he's 150 kilometers on the outskirts of Hanoi. You've got broken connectivity, you've got students who having a hard time in terms of communication, and just a really nice job of pulling that together, and certainly a look at what it's like, and actually what's possible, because one of the things that people often do say is, if the technology's not strong, you can't actually get interesting things done. But in this case, some interesting things done, and certainly a testament to what can be done with effort, even when the technology can be challenging.
Well,
hey, Jeff.
Thank you, Dave. It was challenging, and that actually was the highlight of the course, I think, for the students. And it was amazing. I mean, because otherwise I was just this voice in the ceiling or this guy in the text chat room trying to explain things or telling them what they were doing wrong or pointing them somewhere. But as soon as I became a face with a smile, it really reduced the anxiety significantly. Okay. Thank you, Dave. I'm just shocked.
Right.
Dave doesn't usually say nice things. I don't know how to respond to that.
Were you waiting for the part B of the link?
And you should see minute 32 where.
All right. The next link I'm putting in the chat room is Firefly, and I hate this. It's firef.ly. And Leah Laporte's using it over at twitlive.tv. And the idea is it's not really embedding a chat room, but you put this little code on your blog or your website, and then when visitors come, they're able to open up a chat room, and so it's whoever's on your site at that moment can chat. And it sounds kind of cool. The ones I've looked at have been fairly naughty because it's kind of you take all comers. Whoever shows up starts typing random things in your chat room. So I can't because we have a clean rating on ours. But anyway, it's kind of a neat idea, I think, if you had a lot of traffic coming to your site and you just wanted visitors to be able to interact live as they're looking at your site. So again, it's at I wish it just said Firefly, but it's like firefly.ly. So that's what it is.
All right, another. Now, whatever just happened, that's when the echo started. Jen.
It's me. No,
Oh,
it's me.
Oh,
It's you.
Oh, it's John.
Okay. Good to know. Totspot and Spit. Totspot is another social networking thing for your baby, and I feel like I'm coming up with one of these every week. But another keep your baby journal, privacy, blah, 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 totspot.com. Spit. Have you heard about Spit? Spit is the spam of VoIP. The people are apparently very concerned about spam over internet telephony because it's going to be much harder to block. So things like OoVoo and Skype and Gizmo may wind up having major spam issues. And so this article discusses what's involved. I'm done.
Okay. Microsoft Digital Learning Curriculum was a contributed link this week from Christian Still. And as we've noted in the last couple of weeks, Microsoft seems to put all the cool stuff over on the UK site. But these are SCORM objects which can be imported into your learning management system. So if you're like running a Moodle server, for example, you can grab these pieces of content on digital literacy and just import them right into your learning management system and teach them in your courses. Basically, they're covering things like computer basics and how to use the internet and security and privacy, productivity applications, that kind of stuff. It does have, as you would expect, a Microsoft slant toward it. They have a version that is based on Windows XP and Office 2003, and then another version based on Office 2007 and Windows Vista. But if you don't mind the Microsoft-centric viewpoint, you can grab that content and use it in your courses on your own servers, however you want. So, digital learning curriculum, and that's on MSDN.
Sure. One of the big stories in the Twitter sphere this week was the new conference, a new course that's been announced. It's a course on connectivism that's going to be taught at the University of Manitoba by Stephen Downes and George Seaman. So they're going to be co-teaching in some way or other, which should be very interesting because they don't entirely agree on the subject. And it's open for people to register to take it for free, and they can also take it for credit, so you can follow along. I know several people who have signed up already. I think there'll be quite a crowd in there. There's already a secret league of misfits who are banding together to try to disrupt the proceedings. I of course have nothing to do with that whatsoever, but it should be very interesting. And I think anybody who has been interested in connectivism has had maybe a hard time getting into it, or not entirely sure where to go, or like me has heard two very, very different perspectives on it. This is going to be the place, I think, where it's going to get settled. So not only is this going to be a learning event, I think that my guess is coming out of this course, we're going to end up with a perspective on connectivism that'll be far more authoritative than anything we have now.
Tell us more about the
Did you say, Dave,
misfits.
it's for credit? Sorry, I want credit. Sorry.
Free or not. You can either do it for credit or not.
And was there anything more to share
Dave,
about the misfits?
Jeff's question.
What's going on with that?
No.
Okay.
No, there's some people who are banding together to try to disrupt the proceedings. They're bad people.
Well, I'm wondering, while we're talking about Downs, maybe we should mention his big contest. He's going away for 4 weeks and looking for people to take over his OL Daily. So if you're interested in helping to share that burden, here's a post. When is it? It's in July, isn't it?
It is July, yep.
Yeah. Okay. That wasn't a turn. That was just a comment.
Just
That could have been
throwing it
Jen's
out
link.
there.
That could have been
Hope it
Jen's
wasn't.
link, Jeff, for all you know.
I was going to talk about it. No, I wasn't. Just kidding. All right. I'm going to instead talk about a Ning-ish platform called Neats. It's a contributed link by Christian Stills, spelled, again, a goofy name, neeetz.com. And I think it sounds very, very much like Ning. But I also wanted to take this opportunity to put in a post from Jennifer Jones, who was a big, huge fan of Ning at first. And she put together a blog post this week and called it Trapped in a Ning. So I guess that kind of tells you what she's thinking about Ning these days. But it's a lot of the same stuff we've talked about before. Whenever you use a hosted site, all your work is there, and a lot of times it's hard to get it out. And the whole idea that you're asking people to contribute at a site that they don't have and they don't have ownership of, and again, it isn't something they can take with them after they're done contributing. But she does a nice little analysis of the things that bother her about these types of sites. And like always, the comments are almost more interesting sometimes than what the original post is, and she has a nice little dialogue back and forth with some folks who make some comments. Some of the suggestions are, again, things we've talked about here, having folks aggregate things on maybe a start page. We've talked about that before. Or some folks were talking about figuring out a way to use Yahoo Pipes as a way to aggregate individual blogs into one place. So if you're going down the path and you think you need to set up a Ning or, again, this new site called Neats, you may want to take a peek at Jennifer's thoughts on the topic.
All right. Wow. I had Firefox. Firefox 3 is coming out Tuesday. Woohoo! Finally.
Woohoo!
Is that the day of the super download?
I guess it will be. You know, they had declared that super download day will be when they release it. I believe it's scheduled for Tuesday, June 17th, 2008. They're trying to set a record on number of downloads. And there is also, I just put in the chat room, a field guide to Firefox 3. And so it's a good source of information about all the new stuff that's out there. I'm still not finding many add-ons that are ready. Have you guys found many add-ons that you can use with Firefox 3?
I haven't tried it.
I haven't tried it.
Well,
I've
got it.
I don't.
Randy in the chat room is saying that it's safe. He is not correct. Or she. I suppose Randy could be either. No, it is not safe. I've had it blow up on me any number of times. I had to tear my computer apart once. It just depends on what kinds of things you're doing. The thing that particularly got me was the integration with the new AVG8. Once I installed that, because the new AVG8 has all kinds of little claws that goes out into your computer, and it went kablooey, and I almost couldn't get back into my computer. It took me about 3 hours to fix it.
AVG8, for those who are, super concerned about visiting dangerous websites, they have that nice little feature. So whenever you're searching for sites, it'll have a little green check next to safe sites.
That's the one that blew up my computer.
Hasn't been a problem for me on Firefox 2. Don't think I've tried it on Firefox 3. But something to look forward to on Tuesday.
Oh, sure.
Okay. All right. 3 things you can do to become Web 2.0 savvy, and this was another Jay Hancock link. This is the time of year for a lot of teachers when they finally catch their breath and can start thinking about new things, and the year is over, and a lot of teachers, I think, look at summer as a time for some renewal and some professional development and some additional enthusiasm and new things that they can try. And this is a great overview of stuff that you can do to get started with some Web 2.0 kinds of things, some interactive technologies using the web in interactive ways. It starts blogging, and certainly that's how I have managed to build a network of people that I can rely on to get good information from. It covers social bookmarking. It covers using audio and to some extent video. Just some pretty good resources there, some good step-by-step kind of do this first and look at this and then learn about RSS, and then kind of a sequential guide. It's a couple years old but has good information and useful for teachers who are just getting started with this interactive web thing.
My next link is Octopods. Octopus. It's a gen link, or at least the spelling is. It's octopz.com. Octops. I had to sign up to get a free test. They gave me one. I went in. It was fast and beautiful. It was very, very good. And it's $99 a month to actually buy it. I have no idea how to carry under load. I have no idea how to look in the long run. But if any of those sort of online collaborative whiteboard space, blah, 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 blah. If I was looking at Illuminate right now, I'd absolutely, definitely look at this first. It takes video, it does audio, it does all of these different little pieces, and it is very slick and very nice. It's tight. It's actually, it has a lot less wasted space than some other things do. So do take a look at it. It's a new company. I don't know anything about them, but it certainly looks promising.
Does it do desktop sharing?
And I think we can thank...
Yeah, it does.
And we can thank Jerv for that, I believe.
We're not supposed to say that when she sends them in.
Oh, we're not supposed to say that?
No. She doesn't get credit for her links.
Yeah, probably
Never.
Oh, my gosh. Maybe
No,
it wasn't
somebody else.
her
Yeah.
then.
Definitely not
Even though
her.
that's a
No,
little
it must have been
silly.
somebody else.
Absolutely.
I was sure
Drop
someone else on the
Yeah.
internet has seen the site and was going to tell
It's
us
that
about it.
rough person.
Oh, man, who knew? All right. Well, I am a little nervous here then to say this next link is from Alec, but I don't think we've talked about this one before, but it looks pretty cool. It's the torrent relay that you can do in your browser. You don't have to download any additional software. We talked about this one? I don't believe so.
No,
I know
I've
we've
never
had
seen
other,
it before.
I know we've had other software, but this one you don't have to download, and it's called, these names are killing me today, Tor Relay, so TORRELAY.com, and again, you can just go to the website and put the URL in that you're looking for. It's got 5 quick little easy steps, and I have not tried it, and Alex isn't here to tell us about it, but I don't think he is someone who would contribute if he didn't like it, so give it a shot.
And I'm sorry, the point of this one is that it allows you to use torrents from a mobile device?
Just from your browser, so you don't have to download anything, so you can, is that because there's no software or anything like that to download?
Okay, because I see it supports any device that supports viewing web pages, so cool.
Yep,
And
it's got
there are
PS3,
some
Wii,
questions.
iPhone.
There's some questions in the chat room about the legality of BitTorrent, and we should probably clarify that, because BitTorrent sometimes gets a bad name. The technology itself is not illegal, but it gets used a lot for people who are downloading copyrighted material without a license to use that material. So that's why it can get a bad name. So if you're using it to download, feature films before they're released on DVD without paying for them, that's an illegal use of the technology. If you're using them to grab, ISOs of a Linux distro, then it's legal. So it just depends on what you're doing with it.
All right. 50 things everyone should know how to do. And some are tech-related, some are not. Everything from build a fire to use Google effectively, to do CPR, to change a tire. And it's got several links for each item, so kind of a useful resource there.
Is it knitting?
I did not check, because I don't know if that's really something everyone needs to know. There are very few emergency situations where, hurry, you have to knit a sweater in order to survive, but it could happen.
What if you need, a stretcher?
A what?
A stretcher. You can knit a stretcher
Then
in no
the
time.
patient's going to die by the time you knit it.
Oh, I have
An
to relax.
emergency
Knit a hammock.
knitting situation.
Maybe the way you knit.
I need a tourniquet, Dave. Can you knit one up for me?
And Wacky.org posted video on one of those video sharing sites, The Machine That Changed the World. And this is a 1992 documentary by BBC and public television here in the States that is considered one of the most authoritative, extensive documentations of how computers evolved. So, of course, it missed the last 16 years, but up until that point, it was very current. So apparently it's a very good watch. It's done in 5 parts, so lots of material there.
Machine That Changed the World is about the cotton gin, right?
Obviously.
All right, now. Oh, of course. All right. Moodstream has been submitted by, 500 people this week, including a couple people in the chat room. And why haven't you guys talked about this? Moodstream by Getty Images. It's at moodstream.gettyimages.com. And basically tell it, use sliders. I'm happy to sad, calm to lively, humorous to serious, nostalgic to contemporary, warm to cool. And then it plays music for you and shows you videos and pictures based on your mood. Am I missing something?
Oh, that sounds about right. I looked at it. It's kind of cool.
There you go.
You can't really do anything, though, right? You can't, go, ooh, I love that image, let me take it, right? They're not Creative Commons or anything like that, right?
As a quick warning to anybody who's about to click that link, it's really loud. Thanks, John. My ears are so loud.
Yeah, sorry. We lost about 10 seconds of what you were saying because I went to that site.
Which would be, it does remind me, someone mentioned in the chat room, it reminds me of Musicovery, which is a site we talked about a while ago that allows you to kind of specify your mood, and it plays music based on your mood. Although, I don't know, it's perhaps will, it's useful, or if you want just to listen to something or watch something, I'm not sure what the educational technology application of it is, but lots of people seem to be excited about it.
My last link of the evening is a personal invite to all you folks out there. On Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing a live webcast with the good folks at Innovate at youliveandlearn.com/portalinnovate. So do come out. We'll be talking about rhizomes. I know it doesn't necessarily fascinate the vast majority of the population, but if you do have the vaguest interest in butchering me or asking intelligent questions or both, do come out, and I would love to have you out. And so I'm pretty excited, actually. It's a whole hour for me to talk about me, so...
What you put in doesn't really provide any information about the presentation, and I haven't decided yet, whether I really want to go. Do you have a link that might provide more information about what we'd be getting if we attended that session?
No.
Just take his word for it. Just come.
All right, well, it's gonna be great. I've seen one somewhere. It had Dave Cormier and big neon lights or something.
Now,
if Dave Spam, if you prefer.
If this meeting were held on multivisionmusion.co.uk, we'd be able to see a holographic image of Dave, possibly. I'm trying to make a segue to my link, and I'm not sure I'm doing it. This link is...
Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope.
If you're not sure, you didn't. Just
then I probably
I can settle that out for right now.
This link, though, is from contributed, and I'm now gun shy to tell the name, but it's Kathy S. Contributed the link, and it's very cool. John and I had a debate or a discussion before we started on exactly what it does, and if it does what I think it does, then it's really cool, and if it does what John thinks it does, then maybe it's not so cool. But the idea is one person's presenting, I think, and then the audience that's watching live all of a sudden sees a holographic image of the people who are remote, the remote participant. And if that's the case, it's super cool. But then John was thinking, you know what, this may only work if you're watching it on a computer screen, and then it's just like watching two people in two separate screenshots. So, like I said, if it's my way, it's very, very cool.
It just seemed like they were selling this as... okay, there's a person standing on the stage, and there's a person who appears to be standing on the stage who actually isn't, and they're talking to each other or doing a presentation together. So this virtual presence looks really cool, and it's very, very much like Princess Leia coming out of R2-D2 saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan, my only hope." The concern is, the more I looked at it, they kept saying things like, "Oh, you can do this with any monitor, and you can see this anywhere." And then I started wondering whether this is just video, where you're showing, you're creating this video that has these two people in it who are in different places. And while that's, perhaps technologically kind of cool, it's certainly not telepresence. So I don't know which of those is the real case, but,
it is kind of funny. It's not completely clear.
Right.
It says the only reason I'm thinking it's a real live audience is it just says at the bottom they call it the watching audience. So I just when I read that I assumed it meant like real people sitting in an audience. But and how cool would that be if you're sitting there and all of a sudden they beam in these like little images of people? But maybe that'll be down the road if I'm wrong.
All right. Well, thanks for that link, Dave, to information about your presentation. Now that I've had an opportunity to hear more about community as curriculum, I think it's a must-see, innovative presentation. And thanks for reposting your article, because it was kind of locked down a little bit there. You had to register. In any event, my final...
Itch.
What's that?
Dave had an itch.
Her forehead was itchy.
My final links, if the chat room will pop up here. Well, I'm just going to take my time here so we can edit out this part while I find the links I need. List
Can
of
you
communities.
edit OoVoo?
What's that?
Can you edit the OoVoo?
No.
Sure, you can
or
dump
nor
the
the
Flash
Ustream.
video into... Yeah, okay.
How can you edit? Well, I mean, you can't edit Flash directly, can you? You have to convert it to
No,
something.
you have to convert it and then put it in a video editor and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
edit it. I doubt it.
In any event, from webstrategist.com is this list of communities for young folks and old folks. Some of these I had heard, some I had not. For example, for the youth, there's Club Penguin, there's WeWorld, Zukazo, Gaia, Neopets. I was not familiar with all of these. And then there's also some for retired people, which is kind of cool. A new tool, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Poti. It's, you install it on your website, and it allows you to enter commands on the website. So like send comment. You do a Shift Z when you're on that website, and you can send a comment, or you can do some other things. Didn't really get me that excited, but...
Ironically, it's a command line interface to a website. You know, you hit Shift Z and then you get this command prompt and you can type something in. So it's, command line over a visual point and click WYSIWYG GUI interface. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. I felt like I had a link that I'm not finding, so I will go ahead and send it over to you, John.
DNS Scoop is my last link of the night, which is a pretty cool site that gives you information about a domain name. And basically, you give it a domain name. I'm giving it edtechtalk.com right now, and it tells you how long that name has been registered, and it gives you the Alexa traffic rank. It gives you some DNS information about it, and it tells you how much that link is worth. So edtechtalk.com is worth $11,424, and they get that from based on the number of links there are to that site. They tell you, or they give you an idea of what an advertisement on that site would be worth. So if we put 8 links on edtechtalk.com, we could generate $40 a month. So it's kind of a neat site, and can put in a website, and it'll give you the stats on it. There are 29,422 pages on the internet which have links to edtechtalk.com, which is amazing to me. Just kind of a cool site. That's dnsscoop.com with one S in the middle.
So we can get $40 a month or sell it for $11,000?
Right.
In that case, join us next week at edtechtalk2.com.
We'll just move on to one of Jeff's other 400,000 domains.
Yeah, we got all sorts of edtech stuff.
Anybody else have anything to add?
Well, I just want to mention that next weekend is Solstice. So a very happy solstice in advance to everybody. And we're not having a webcast-a-thon, but we're hopefully going to have a number of planning sessions for different WorldBridges communities, including one for EdTech Talk on Monday, June 29th, 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be a number of Webcast Academy events and some of the other communities. If anybody who's part of the World Bridgosphere at all wants to have some kind of online gathering, that would be a good time. We will be sending out an EdTech Talk newsletter, which goes out to more than 1,400 people now, so I really have to make sure to spell check. And we'll be posting info on the site and elsewhere.
And so if you would like to contribute links for EdTech Weekly, you can do so by tagging them /EdTech Talk in your Delicious when you are tagging links, and we will get those and include them in one of our future shows, hopefully. Don't forget that Dave Cormier is doing a presentation about rhizomes on Tuesday. I'm sure you've seen billboards about it. You've seen advertisements on buses and subways
and
about
you have
it.
definitely
it's all
been spammed
over the
about
place. And on Tech Talk this week, we have as far as I know, a full complement of shows. Parents as Partners is coming up on Monday, Women of Web 2 on Tuesday, 21st Century Learning and Teachers Teaching Teachers is on Wednesday, and of course the Brainstorm on Thursday, all in advance of the solstice coming and all the special events that Jeff just mentioned. So, busy summer here at EdTech Talk, and thanks for joining us, everyone, and we will see you next week. Sorry, you wanted to add something, Jeff?
No, I just remembered your game show that was excellent on Women of Web. I love that. I've been wanting to do game shows for a long time, and I wanted to do one for the post show. I wanted to prepare some questions, and what I was thinking of doing is using, not amongst the people who are on the call, but with the people who are in the chat room. And
you know what? I have the extra questions right here, but I have a feeling I'm going to win.
All right, go ahead. Ask the questions and let the chat room play. And whoever gets the answer, just type it into the chat
room. You know what?
We'll send you a virtual coffee
mug. Send you a picture of a virtual coffee mug.
That is a virtual coffee mug.
People want to know what time on Tuesday, Dave. Or no.
1 Eastern.
That's WOW, I'm sorry.
1700?
About you.
WOW's at 9 p.m.
Everybody always talking
Eastern
about me?
On Tuesday.
I think they meant to talk about Dave, but they said WOW instead.
She was answering before you asked the question. Wow.
Sean Wayne. Okay, now I have to think of a question. Yeah, well, you know, and they also want to know, apparently, what I'm wearing again. I'm not sure why this keeps coming up, but I actually am wearing pants. I have pants on today. I forgot that I don't usually wear pants. Although the laptop gets really hot, I'm going to have to wear long pants. This is getting ridiculous.
and a pants.
Exactly.
That's right. The first rule of
and Jen does
is
have
safety
lip
first.
gloss on. Right.
I do have lip gloss on. I have my lip gloss is right here.
And what happened to Dave?
Nice camera shot, Dave.
Dave had to take a potty break.
He's showing the empty can.
So are we playing
right,
a game show or
questions.
what?
They want questions. Yeah. You know what? I can just I'll give you one of the categories. We had a bunch of categories, and one of the categories we didn't use was odd one out. And basically, I'll give you a list of 4 items, 4 names or 4 people or 4 things, and tell me which one doesn't belong with the other 3 and why. Okay? We could just do this between Jen and Jeff and Dave.
No, we're about live interactive webcasting and listening to the game show. I mean, people want to participate, don't you? In the chat room, let us know. Do you want to watch Jen and I compete? Which, who knows if that's even going to be a contest? Or do you want to?
You're not on a delay of more than a couple seconds.
Vote.
All right. Okay. Which is the odd one out? Sergey Brin, Larry Page, Jimmy Wales, Jerry Yang.
Can you repeat those, please?
And the spelling.
Sergey Brin, Larry Page, Jimmy Wales, Jerry Yang.
Larry Page.
Why?
I don't know. I could recognize the other 3. I couldn't recognize him.
Ooh. John Rundag, why? He's saying Jimmy Wales is the correct answer there.
I would have gone with Jimmy Wales.
Which is correct, but Sergey Brin and Larry Page and Jerry Wang all founded search engines.
Right.
2 of them, Google and the other one, Yahoo. Jimmy Wales did not start a search engine. He started Wikipedia.
What's Page? Which one? Which search engine?
Page is he one of the founders of Google or one of the founders of Yahoo?
I need to know this answer. I don't know.
Can you drop more of the question, like the names, into the chat room so I can copy and paste them into Google?
No, because they actually just printed out the things that they were sitting here from Tuesday night. I don't have any idea with this. Yeah, save you time. Okay, FeedBurner, Flickr, Picasa, or Jaiku? Which is the odd one out?
Can you
FeedBurner,
speak more slowly?
Flickr. Wow.
Okay, FeedBurner.
FeedBurner, Flickr, Picasa.
That's it? Just
Picasa, and Jaiku.
And Matt grabs that one.
I would not have put Jaiku with
FeedBurner,
the other
Picasa,
two.
FeedBurner, not photos. FeedBurner isn't.
Oh,
FeedBurner.
Jaiku.
Jaiku's not
Jaiku
photos.
is like that's not photos.
I can
Some
give
kind
a
of
hint.
trick
Not
question
social,
here.
not
I
tagging,
can offer a hint.
not...
Who
Okay,
owns
what's
them?
your hint? Ooh,
Ooh, see,
okay.
Dave's good at this. This is why we don't put Dave on game shows.
Wait, what was the answer?
Yeah. It's Flickr.
Flickr. It's Flickr because Flickr is not owned by Google. The other three are all
That's
owned by
Yahoo.
Google.
Clever.
All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we'll use that with the... no, we won't. George Lucas, Bill Gates, Steven Spielberg, Steve Wozniak.
Say again?
George Lucas, Bill Gates, Steven Spielberg, Steve Wozniak. Randy and Steve Jobs isn't one of the people on the list.
Well, so far,
Spielberg.
everybody-
Lucas, Gates, Wozniak. Durf says Gates. Oh, we can't mention it. Sorry, Durf. I was going to put that in the outro, the apology to Durf for mentioning her name, but I forgot. Gates, not from California. That's an interesting one. That wasn't the one I had in mind. Others are movie guys, but Wozniak's not a movie guy. He's the founder of Apple. Not rich enough. Yeah, Wozniak's did reasonably well. Oh,
I have no idea.
This is the Ed part of EdTech Talk, that Lucas, Gates, and Wozniak all have strong ties to education. Lucas has, of course, Edutopia, the George Lucas Educational Foundation. Bill Gates has, all of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation stuff that they do with schools and making smaller schools. Steve Wozniak taught middle school computer science for years. Steven Spielberg doesn't have direct ties to education, except that he went to school, apparently. You want an easier
That's
one?
a blurry
Yeah,
question.
we want an easy one. We want a
Easy.
different question.
All right, easy one. Cougar, jaguar, leopard, panther.
Yep, I'm with
Cougar's
Jay.
the only one in North America.
Yeah, cougar
Well, it
is. They're correct. Cougar is the only one that's not a Mac OS release. That's all I have that aren't directly related to Web 2 or to the Posse. What else can we use? Ooh,
Oh,
this
there's
is a good one.
Matt, sorry, go ahead.
You want another category, or are we tired of this?
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just talking to my cheesehead pal. Sorry.
Yes? No?
I want a different category.
Jen, of course. Was,
Is that
well,
lefty, Jeff, or do I have time for toast here?
Sure.
Oh, nice looking.
Cheers.
That's what I heard.
Nice lacing, Dave.
Oh, I can get some of that.
Beautiful
Hang
head
let
on
me
that
get me
beer,
some of that. Hang on. Just a moment.
Uh-oh.
All right.
See, I
This
told you
post
she
show
should
is
have
just
pants
getting
on. She
rocking.
forgot.
So
we'll wait for her to come
before
back.
we get to the next question, how was the visual experience, chat room? Was it too choppy? Was it worth it? Was it? Because I'm still trying to figure out how to make all this video stuff worthwhile. Video was better than the sound, so that's scary.
Yeah, can you reach out and throw something at her, John, please?
Yeah. Wait, actually, I could disconnect I could shut the wireless network off. That would pretty much
Okay, now
take
let's
care of
toast
it.
again. Let's toast again.
Cheers.
Jeffrey.
Cheers, Jen.
Jeffrey.
Oh,
Jeffrey.
sorry.
Yeah, he's.
Clink.
This is the last time we can do this because then our new policies are going to take effect.
This is just grape juice.
Then you can only drink when you're not on camera. Do we have alcohol? Which reminds me, I don't want to do cameras anymore.
John's worse than I am.
Oh, and for those who are wondering what John's talking about, the governance. Are we committees or teams or what do we call ourselves?
Yeah, that. Governance,
the governance
and
group
policy
of EdTech
group,
Talk
whatever.
Met yesterday to begin formulating terms of use and privacy policies and things like that. John has done a great job getting us started, and I'll put a link to the Columbus document, as it's known, at node 1492 of EdTech Talk, and you can see where we're at. We had a meeting to discuss it, and the Thomas Jefferson of EdTech Talk, John, is going to be revising.
We're talking Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson, not having children with slaves, right? Just to make this perfectly clear.
You're saying you don't like black people?
And I believe we've managed to break pretty much every policy we've added so far.
Where are the policies? I got to open them and see how many if they're broken.
And
Dave
we welcome feedback. If people want to comment on that, please feel free. We're, I think, going to do a little bit more tweaking and then try to roll them out during the solstice. Because we're tired of all this
get some more
community
comment on them.
Talk. Just get stuff done. It's going to be the summer of getting stuff done.
These aren't as complicated as bylaws, are they? This is more terms of use and that kind of thing.
Major things I forgot to mention about Webcast Academy. Yesterday, Jose had the Spanish version of Webcast Academy open house. Doug and Daryl are like having a rolling open house. It's kind of extended over 3 weeks or something, but they're getting the summer session ready. So those who are interested in doing this crazy stuff, wander over to webcastacademy.net. Go ahead and post an introduction and stay tuned.
All right, you want another category?
Yes.
Okay, the chicken and the egg. The chicken or the egg. I will give you two technologies. You tell me which one came first.
Ooh,
Ready?
I like this category.
All right. Twitter or Ustream?
Ustream.
Twitter.
No, Twitter. Twitter.
Wait, I'm waiting for the chat room to. Yeah, the answer is Twitter. Twitter came in 2006. Ustream in 2007. Okay.
Wow.
Delicious or Gmail?
Gmail.
We're getting that echo again, are we?
Gmail.
They're all. And the answer is Delicious. Delicious came in 2003. Gmail in 2004. See, this would have been a great category on the show.
Yeah.
But they didn't pick it.
I like this category very much.
I got a 50-50 chance of being right. I love this category.
Yeah, me too.
Flash or RSS?
Flash.
Oh, Flash.
Yeah, it is Flash. Flash is in 96. RSS was in 99. So Flash by 3 years.
Is it David, what's his name, who wrote Flash? Weiner? Or RSS?
No
Wrote
bonus.
RSS, the first
No bonus points.
Trying to show off. I think a point gets deducted.
Silly.
Hermione kind of questions. Teacher, is that who invented
Hermione questions. Yeah, EdTech Posse or WoW 2, because these were from the WoW show. and I had to give
Posse.
them one that they would actually get.
Oh,
Yeah, EdTech Posse.
that's a good
EdTech
one.
Posse. EdTech Posse started June 19th, 2005, and Women of Web 2.0 started October 19th, 2006. So a year and change.
Posse started, 2 weeks after we did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, we're first.
This is a better question. EdTech Talk or EdTech Posse?
Not sure I would have got
That
that
would've
question
been a good
right. I think I would have
question,
guessed them.
Yeah. Firefox or WordPress?
WordPress.
And WordPress as
Ooh.
WordPress, not WordPress as whatever WordPress used to
But
be.
Firefox has Firefox and not all the stuff it was before?
Firefox is Firefox.
Right. Firefox is Firefox
WordPress.
and not Netscape and not Mozilla. WordPress came
But
in
you said
2000
not.
Well, I still
All right,
would have
I
gone
said
with
no,
WordPress, although John's comment makes me think it's going to be Firefox.
WordPress came in 2003, Firefox in 2004. So WordPress is older.
Why does Alice Mercer think I'm more like Ron? I don't think she's being kind when she says that.
The couch troll seems to have access to my Google document because she's pasting the text exactly the way I have it written.
Uh-huh.
She shouldn't do that.
Security breach.
I think so. All right, Dig or YouTube?
Dig.
YouTube.
Dig. Dig.
Ooh, we have a split. YouTube, Dig, YouTube. Dig came 2004, YouTube in 2005. So Dig is older. Just obeying. MapQuest or Moodle?
Who cares? Boodle.
MapQuest.
MapQuest.
It's MapQuest. MapQuest is in 96, Moodle is in 99. Last one, Flickr or Skype?
Skype.
Flickr.
Skype.
Skype.
Skype was 2003. Flickr was 2004. Jeff, you suck at this category.
Well, I just don't want to agree with that.
It's 50-50. I mean, just pick the first one every time, and you'll.
Let's
a
see
good
what else do I
category.
have left.
I think Jeff took the opposite one that I picked every time.
I think that was maybe the strategy.
All right, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone notice anything different about Jeff tonight?
Your ponytail?
You got your hair in a ponytail.
You people.
Is that a shaved head? It's not shaved, is it?
His face is shaved.
Oh.
You don't have to look that closely, dude. He's in a camera. Just get her face right up to the monitor.
What's
wrong with his face? I can't see anything.
Let me see. Come closer to my camera. Come closer to my webcam.
No red shirt.
Wait, he's
No
not wearing
facial
pants.
hair. No one's even calling it a beard. Jeez.
I
Did he
thought
put her
there
foot
was
down?
a
It's
debate.
double.
There was a debate at the beginning if you shaved your head or if it was in a ponitail. So I thought maybe
No
I had called
no
it wrong.
ponytail action, or no shaving.
That's a ponytail. I see the elastic.
Yeah, a little.
And so why? You have to explain
You
this now.
look like you've been working out.
Yes, my nose looks really big and strong. No, I like to. It had been almost 5 or 6 years since I had shaved. So
Is it that long, Jeff?
yeah,
Well,
Really?
I know it's
I'll have to
exciting.
go back and look at some pictures 'cause I don't
cleaning out
remember
the closet, he
you had
found
a
the
beard.
razor. I guess I could.
wow.
So what did it look like? I don't even
Suave and
remember.
debonair.
Wow.
Look at last
It's
week's show.
It's on his avatar. Yeah, look at last week's show.
I'll have to go back and
Oh,
look.
they want to know if you have tan lines on your face.
No, I don't think so.
In the Northeast, I don't think he's got tan
Come
lines.
closer to my webcam and let me see. I can't see.
Yeah. Look at this little tiny picture. And okay, so what's the reason? You donated it to charity. No.
Yes, I for the poor people who can't grow
Donated
beards,
it.
I donated
Children
my
with
facial
children
hair.
with cancer who want to have facial hair.
Yeah, no reason. I just thought,
These people,
why not try
you
it?
know, it's
I mean, I do it every few years and say, well, let me give it a shot, see how it looks, and I say, I think I'll grow it back. So
Stubbles for studs. Very nice, J-Dub.
All right,
Well,
Jerf wants more
our
questions.
anniversary is coming up.
Oh, Jerf wants.
Ooh.
Oh, we can't. Can we say that? Can we say that Jerf asked this question, or is that in violation
We're
of Jerf's rule?
We're in post show now. We can say anything.
Okay.
She just doesn't like people to know that she's involved with this community because she's embarrassed at the things we do.
Oh, right.
Well, you see, she plays over with the cool kids, so she doesn't want the cool kids to know that she's slumming. She comes over here, picks up all her stuff, and then goes back and acts all cool.
Yeah. Derf.
Jerf.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have
Okay.
the Olympics are coming up this summer. We need, in this webcasting global world, we need to know our time zones. If it's 10 a.m.
Yes.
in Beijing, what time is it in Los Angeles? 10 a.m. in Beijing.
Los Angeles.
What time is it in Los Angeles?
What day is it in Los Angeles? I don't know.
There you go.
That's not my game. I don't know this one.
And that's true. It
anybody
is the
clear
day
on
before.
what Jerf is boycotting?
What?
She's
Jerf is
boycotting the
boycotting,
Olympics.
but I'm not sure what.
I don't know the Olympics or the question.
It might be the show after the taunting we gave her.
After the, yeah.
Mm,
Nope,
You know
no one's
what?
gotten it
See,
yet.
this is 8/8. The Olympics is 8/8. Tom's, my husband's birthday is July 7th. So last year his birthday was 7/7/7. That was very cool. We thought.
A very big wedding day
Lucky
in Asia.
7. Yeah.
Got very dark there, Dave. Everything okay?
Sorry, I live in the house with a pregnant lady.
Okay, not sure what their connection is, but we understand.
I think it means maybe whatever she does flies. I'm guessing.
Things happen I can't explain, and I go, "That's great," and I just keep on going. So there was a disturbance in the force, and I looked over, and something odd was going on, and now it's done, and apparently nothing ever happened.
Oh, that's nice.
it was never late there.
So
I
did
think
we get an
I think
answer?
she's got a
Kim.
knife now, though. I'm not sure that's so good. What is
So
he
what's our
doing?
answer, Jeff?
What's that?
What's our answer?
7
7
p.m.
hours earlier we're getting.
7
7
p.m.
p.m. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
All
The day
right.
before.
The
More
day
numbers.
before.
Jeff.
More numbers.
Go.
By the numbers. Answer these number-related technology questions. Finish the sequence. Kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte.
It's a gabillion byte.
All right. Now
Yeah.
you're just Googling them. It's not even
Petabyte.
worth. J-Dub knows this, and J-Dub actually knows the next one.
I'm sorry, can you say that
These are
again?
Good.
J-Dub knows this, but she's not typing it in. I don't know why, if she claims to know it. And it's not yottabyte.
Can you say it one more time, John?
It's not yottabyte. Kilobyte, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte. What comes next?
Gigabyte.
Ginormous byte?
It sounds similar to one of the ones before, I think. But it has a different letter.
It's petabyte.
Petabyte.
And I think exabyte comes after that.
Can I just register my amazement that there are still 28 people in the Ustream?
Yeah.
It's more
Like
than
these
we
game
had.
shows. I'm telling you, I'm all over the game shows.
Yeah, sure, right. Yeah, whatever.
Next.
And then yada. Okay, if you Google Wikipedia,
Ben Yada.
some of you just did, 291 million results when you Google Wikipedia. Is that 2 times, 12 times, or 120 times the number of actual pages on Wikipedia in English? In other words, for every Wikipedia entry in English, are there 120 or 12 or 120 hits on Google?
12.
Yes.
Dave says 12.
My choices are
I'm
yes
with
or no.
Jeff.
I'm going to go with yes.
Jeff and I say yes.
The choices are 212 or 120.
My answer is 12 because I think that's the average number of links on a Wikipedia page.
There are 120.
Can we have a question read by the other couch troll, please?
Ooh,
she's
an presenter.
Wing of the building. She cannot come up here because I locked the door. To keep.
Hey, I've only got 2 spare keyboards. Stop that.
Oh, familiar with Edublogs, right? James Farmer, great guy. Set up Edublogs for teachers to get free blogs. If all of the blogs on edublogs.org belonged to Australian teachers, would there be 1.5 blogs per teacher, 1 blog per teacher, or 1.5 teachers per blog?
Yes.
1 blog per teacher.
You mean per
But
teacher
that's
in
the
Australia?
answer.
In Australia, yeah. If they all belonged to Australian teachers, would every teacher in Australia have a blog, or would there be 1.5 blogs per teacher, or 1.5 teachers per blog?
1.5.
1, splitting the baby, 1 blog per teacher.
What baby are you splitting, woman?
Jen doesn't make very many religious references. That's pretty good. It's 1.5 teachers per blog. There are about 250,000 teachers in Australia and 172,000 blogs on Edublogs, so it'd be 1.5 teachers per blog.
Yes. Wow.
See, this is one of those categories where they're glad that they didn't pick it.
Yeah.
According to the Pew Internet and American Life Project, what % of teens report using the Internet for schoolwork at least once a week? 48%, 76%, or 84%?
84%.
48.
We're waiting for chat room. And to answer Jen's question, Debbie has access to the Google Doc that has all the answers in it, which is why she seems to know them all.
Super.
And the answer is 48%. 48% of students say they use the Internet once a week for schoolwork or more.
Dave wins!
Yeah, Dave. Okay, last by the numbers question. How many floppy disks would it take to store the same amount of data as a single layer Blu-ray disc? 1,700, 17,000, or 170,000?
Wow, those are all big numbers. All of them are big.
Okay, how many floppy disks would it take to store the same amount of data as a single layer Blu-ray disc? 1,700, 17,000, or 170,000?
17,000.
That's crazy.
J-Dub, 3.5-inch floppy disk.
Good question, though.
It matters. 1.2 versus 1.4 megs. 2 megs if you use a Mac, but then you've got, disk problem.
Yeah. What if I break one as I'm doing it? Putting the
if I get one out
my
of sequence, please insert disk 17,481. Take a
format over another one.
Answer 17,000.
Okay. Well, that was.
Are we tired of this yet?
Yes.
Tom wasn't going to be able to let me turn the TV on. Well, this is fun.
I think this has all sorts of potential for actual
still going.
use and teaching.
All right, somebody else write some questions for next week. We'll do them in the chat, in the post show.
No. We want the Schinker household to keep it up. They're good.
I don't know. After that last category, I'm not sure.
I like the earlier than later than category.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right.
That was fun. Okay. Well, have a lovely week, everybody.
Send over some audio in my direction?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
All right,
lots
that's good.
of editing this week.
Yes, have fun.
Yeah,
great week, everybody.
Just a little bit. First 15 minutes, that's all I do. First 15 minutes.
Yeah, then after that,
You can stick with us that long, who cares? Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. See you next